Good morning and welcome back to Doing It Live with Doomlink in Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. We have made at least some progress towards... Ooh, the game has decided to go dark because I've sat here for a while. We've made some progress towards the next dungeon. I suspect we're quite close to the next dungeon because we've just found our next waypoint. I think either we're halfway towards the dungeon or we are right there. One of the two. But we will be there soon. And I'll try to do as much of the dungeon in this particular VOD. I think we're on... This is either part 5 or part 6. I don't know which it is at this point. You'd think I would keep better track of these things, but I was bad at keeping track of it way back when I used to do Let's Play videos. Like I would do very, very long recordings and then divide them up into multiple Let's Play parts. I was bad keeping track back then, and incidentally I still suck at it. So. 15 years of Let's Plays has not really trained me to do this properly, which is sad, to be honest. Piss equals cologne. Thank you, Slinger, in the chat. I was just, before beginning this recording, that must have been very abrupt for those of you who have just tuned into the VOD. I was discussing the fact that bats urinate on themselves intentionally to attract mates, and Slinger has very elegantly described that as cologne. So, yeah. I knew it. I can sense my friends in there. But they can't move. It seems like they're trapped. But if that's the case, they won't be able to mend the rift at all. I think we'll have to go in there and help them. Then we can deal with this rift properly. Okay, this is the first time we're actually going into a rift. Is it safe to do so? Is this, really what we want to be doing? We can save them if we work together, Zelda. Maybe I could have done this with Link in the first place and we never would have had to deal with any of this. So, what do you say? What I say, Try, is that I need an explanation as to why I can go into the rift now but couldn't before. That's what I need to know. Maybe he has to create a pathway into it. That seems to be what's going on. But there was a glowing golden ring there. I don't know why there was one. Anyway, it's fine. Let's not overthink it. Alright. Enter with A. Is this going to take us into our first dungeon? Potentially. Oh, Stilled Suthorn Forest. So it seems that if we're inside the rift, it's called stilled. Could call it becalmed even. Becalmed is a nice word. What do you have to say? This is the still world. Everything you see floating around in here was sucked in through a rift. Anything that ends up in here will begin to break apart and eventually vanish completely. No. See, the last thing that I need, the last thing that anyone in this world needs is for kids to be given bad examples of how to use English. Okay, so previously we had thingies. Thingies, we don't want thingies, you don't use that word. We also do not say me and my friends, we say my friends and I. Let's say it together, my friends and I. Not to be that annoying teacher in primary school, but seriously. My friends and I have the ability to restore things that have ended up in rifts, though. Okay. Speaking of, I sense my friends deeper in here. Let's go, Zelda. Very good. Slinger has complied, but AJ has said my friends and me, which... Again, not correct. To the back of the class. Or really, to the front of the class so you can hear better. That felt like a dangerous jump. Oh god. Are you, benign? You are not. You are not! Go away! Oh, shit. Okay, what exactly is going on? So from me, he seemed to... So he enveloped me. And then I did this. Okay, and then you should burn to death? Yeah. So here's the thing with the Ignazol. It has more health, and also when it makes physical contact with an enemy, it will light them on fire. So it makes them considerably more robust than your usual Zol. I mean, I don't really know why I would want to use a Zol going forward, right? Like, what use am I going to get out of this? This is where game design is going to play a part, or rather, the quality of game design will be measurable. Will regular Zols, despite essentially being replaced by Ignazols at this point, and very early on, relatively speaking, will these still have a purpose in the future? That is what I want to see. I would like to see them have a purpose in the future, but we'll find out. We cannot know until the time arrives that they must be used. That is nightmare fuel. Or at least from far away it was. When people get pulled into rifts, they kind of petrify and can't move anymore. And if they stay that way, they'll eventually fade away. But that won't happen to you, Zelda. You're special. Yeah, because I'm the main character, that's why. I'm the main character, I'm the player. That could be wife. Actually, that's a good point. I think AJ's nailed it on the head. Hit the nail on the head, to use the adage correctly. Or the saying, whatever you want to say. Rock. Destroy pots. Ah ha ha. Very good. But yes, he hit the nail on the head. I suspect that was indeed wife. She does not have a name, but she does have a role. She has a function as a woman. Anyway. How about Keese versus Keese? This may be a little more effective. I'll need you to come over here, though. Ooh. Come on, Keese. Well, that Zol disappeared very quickly. I don't know why I summoned a regular Zol. That was really not necessary. I guess that's me desperate to reuse the Zol. I still don't know what the sea urchin is going to do. It might be a form of shield. Remember when they were saying that the sign may work as a shield? Well, I'm not really convinced by that. This, however, may be a better shield. What I'm also not convinced by is the need for a shield in general, right? It sounds very situational. In regular combat, I would be better served by just physically getting out of the way of any attacks that are oncoming, rather than just figuring out something to summon and then putting it in front of me. That's what my instincts tell me at this stage. I suspect in certain situations, maybe where I have limited movement or something like that, maybe I would want to create a shield. And under those circumstances, I don't suspect it would be a wooden sign that I would want to summon to act as a shield. Maybe a big frickin' rock would be more useful for that purpose, but that's just me. That's just me. Let's try a spear moblin. Maybe he can throw a spear at this Keese. Come on, do it. Don't be silly. You have had every opportunity to throw a spear, my friend. I can't quite believe that it took you that long, but fine. As tempting as it is to cast judgment. Alright, let's drop a boulder on here. Ooh. Pick it up, come on. Oh, I guess I can't pick it up, can I? And it's not really in a position where I can... Oh. Well, I don't even need to hold this down. Just having pressed it was enough. Okay. Well, we've still got this moblin. Oh no, we don't still have the moblin. Alright, spear moblin. You must redeem yourself after your previous embarrassment. Okay, that was alright. Come, moblin. Yeah. Right, I'm going to summon him again. See, if I need to reposition him, I can do so at will. Ah, very nice. And then we can summon him again. He's too high to throw it. Get down. Get down here. What just happened? No, stop it. I know it might be tempting. I realize it might be quite fun to stand on top of the box, but I need you to be at the same level as the enemy, otherwise this is not going to work. Oh my god. Okay, do I require these crates to be here? I do not, so I'm going to destroy them. Because, as we discovered from that fight, they do contain things of use. Very good. For those of you watching this VOD now, in other words, if you're watching on YouTube, this channel is very Zelda focused. I will be playing every Zelda game you would want to see, except potentially for Tears of the Kingdom. I'm talking about the old stuff, you know, all of the old Zelda games. You'll be able to see it here. If it hasn't already been uploaded, it will be, okay? At the time that you're watching this, so... yeah, I'm a big Zelda fan. Big Zelda fan. It's one of these creepy, it almost looks like a blimp. These blimp-looking creatures. Very nicely thrown. Okay, so what they do is they... what I was interested in seeing was whether or not it could be killed in that form. But indeed, those enemies, for some reason, envelop me in their form and then split out into two new enemies. I don't really know why that's necessary or what that really means, but... anyway. Come on, Moblin. No, Moblin did not fare very well. There, let's give a Ignazol a try. Great example of how effective an Ignazol can be. And see, even when, that's the great thing about the Ignazol, even if an enemy succeeds in hitting the Ignazol, the enemy will catch fire. I would say, generally speaking, the Ignazol is our most useful monster that we can conjure. Or, more simply put, our best monster Echo. Wife. Maybe this is Wife. She's a bit younger though, isn't she? Ah, I see. This one is from the castle. Hey, I remember this one from the castle. I can restore her back to normal if we mend this rift. I don't really remember the one from the castle, to be honest with you. I want to go in this direction first. I think there was a way for me to proceed over here. Remember when I said that we were going to be getting to a dungeon? Hasn't happened yet. Doesn't mean it won't happen, but... do you think a trampoline can get me up there? Just like that? Well, alright. No, I don't think I can make it, can I? Alright, so what we'll do is we will instead do that with a trampoline on top of it, and then see if that gets me up on there. Yeah. Much nicer. These flowers look strategically placed, don't they? I feel like I can do something with them. It's a little bit like when you're playing those games where you've got the magic bean, and it's just the soil. You can tell that it's used for something. I'm not saying that's what's happening with these flowers, it just reminds me of that. It reminds me of when you're looking at the place where you can plant a magic bean and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I think I can do something with that later. Potentially not the case here. Oh, this looks like a dungeon, does it not? I guess I just wasn't expecting it to take this long to get to the dungeon in question. But I think we're here now. This is where you were trapped not too long ago. Oh, really? Okay. We've ended up going back there. We're getting closer to my friends. They're farther in, but we're getting there. It's interesting, I would have said further in. But I guess farther is okay? Yeah. Alright, this is our waypoint to this dungeon. So remember, if we actually open the map here, switch maps, I think, like so, we can actually warp to all of these positions whenever we want. So basically, we could go from the dungeon to the shop and then go back if we needed to get supplies. So I don't think that's going to be necessary, but it is an option. When you say Capcom Zelda games, I actually don't know what you mean. The shovel in Capcom Zelda games? Alright, making use of this rock. Ages and Seasons. Are those Capcom games? Surely not, no. Why do you say Capcom? Did they actually... They couldn't have made those, did they really? Ages and Seasons. Interesting. I've got them both here on Game Boy Color. Bring it closer. It's flipped now, sadly, because I've had to move my my webcam to the left, which then flips the view. There's no mention of Capcom on here, on either cartridge. Funny. I didn't know there were Capcom games. Just has the Nintendo seal of approval. Am I a fan of them? Or rather, the shovel in those games. I don't remember the shovel in those games. I played a little bit of Oracle of Seasons back in 2008, emulated. And I played a little bit of Seasons or Ages. So one of them has General Onyx, the other one has Viran as the final boss. And you know, the Meiku tree and all of that business. But I don't remember them very well. My memories of those games sort of bleed into my memories of Link's Awakening. Excuse me. Memories of Link's Awakening, but yeah, the time that I've spent in those games is just too little and too long ago for me to have any idea what's going on in those games. Yeah, I remember things like Meiku Tree and the bosses, but that's really it. They are games that I intend to play again, and will do so on this channel. The shovel was for finding random items, and you could sometimes dig up special items if you dig in certain spots. I'm guessing, would these things be mentioned in the game manual? Like if you, not the game manual rather, if a guidebook for said game. So if you got a guidebook for the game, I'm guessing it would tell you where those locations were. I don't think that's a bad thing. It just depends on what the items are, like how special are they? How are they going to affect the way you play the game? I'm not going to go deep into it now as I speak with you, but that'll definitely be something for me to consider and make my own evaluation on when I play those games, for sure. You could dig everywhere there was dirt. Well, the same could be said of Phantom Hourglass. In Phantom Hourglass you could dig anywhere as well. And there was, admittedly, the temptation to dig a lot, and you would occasionally get, you know, a giant rupee of some kind, or not so much special items, but I think there were some things that you could get that was quite special by digging with a shovel, but anyway. That was that game, and this is this game. Let's delve into Suthorn Ruins. This is our first dungeon in Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Okay, we've got a massive boulder. Is it something we can get over, or is it something we can get through? That's a pretty big rock, huh? You know, when I'm fixing rifts, I have to move a lot of things around. I bet the ability to do that would come in handy for you. Aha, we are about to get a new ability, which I think I saw in the trailer. If you guide me with the rod, I can move things for you based on your movement. Try facing this boulder, and then guide me by pressing X. Okay. Based on my movement, we're bound together. Okay, now try moving. Use X to guide Try. The monster or object that Try binds to will then follow your movements. I'm glad that this is what's happening, because when I looked at the actual physical size and height of that rock, I thought, oh shit, I don't know how to get over that. Turns out we're being given a new ability, which is good news. Okay, should now be able to get around just fine. ZR to release. Okay. That is a very useful ability. Thank you, Try. I don't know why you held off on giving us that for so long, but that has come in great handy. Come in great use. I'll look all the way around before mucking about with this stuff. Oh yeah, we can just grab things and move it now. Aha, that has revealed a path downwards. But we won't go there immediately. Oh, okay. Well, that is probably a way forward, and then this is... Like, for example, if I think of classic dungeon organization, that would technically be an optional, like a map or a compass. You want maps and compasses when going through a dungeon, but it is technically optional. You don't need it to clear a dungeon. Whereas this would be your actual way forward, if that makes sense. So this detour, I suspect, will give us either a map or a compass, if such things do still exist, or may even give us a key, which would actually be categorized as a required item. I'm assuming we can climb this. Yes, we can. This looks a bit dangerous. Jump straight away. I'm guessing these are skulltulas, are they? Yeah. Oh! You're awfully cute. Alright, what we'll do is we'll get the trampoline, drop it here, jump over. Let's see if the trampoline is enough to get up here. No, not quite. That's alright. Maybe table. Trampoline table. I have a feeling that's going to be a combination that I often use. Ooh, still not quite good enough. Wonder why. Okay, well that has come as a surprise. I wonder if there's something that I can drop on the ground underneath me while jumping. But that sounds a little too easy, doesn't it? It will only go to your left or to your right by the looks of it. So how do I get up there? The Spido Echo is incredibly useful. Okay. Maybe I should try and get that. Come on, Moblin. Are you going to kill it? What are you doing? Apparently your spear doesn't... Oh! Yeah, I see you. It's like the old Skulltulas of Ocarina of Time. You attack their backs, and then... Okay. You're going to have to get out of my way, so... How do I hit you after causing you to turn around? Maybe with a pot? Yeah, okay, now you're dead. Very good. I feel like there are many ways I could have killed him there, but interestingly the spear from the Moblin was not working at all. So I guess it's very easy to assume that a Moblin throwing a spear is automatically going to be your best option for monster echoes that you can summon. But they are actually situational. It depends on the enemy that you're fighting. Some monster echoes will be useful and then others won't be. So that was very good. I'm not personally surprised to see that the Ignazol ended up being the best choice. I have a bit of a soft spot for the Ignazol. I think he's a bit of an unsung hero. He might be well appreciated. I could be totally wrong. I've got no idea what's going on with the community of Echoes of Wisdom. I haven't been part of the Zelda community for some time, but I think the Ignazol may be slightly underappreciated. I think he's extremely useful. I'm sort of... based on his health and based on his flaming ability, I have a lot of confidence in the usefulness of this particular slime. I guess you would previously call them choo-choos, wouldn't you? I don't think he's really a choo-choo, but Yeah. That's fine. Let me remove that and get a trampoline, and we'll figure out what is going on with this spider silk. I'm assuming that this is going to give me access to what I need. So if I drop a spider, will he go vertically? Oh, okay. It is not a skulltula, it is a strand chiller. Okay. I guess they're not calling it a skulltula because it's got a specific function. It's meant to be creating these strands that we've been able to climb on. So, yeah, this thing should be what we need. Apparently the community is too busy finding creative ways to break the game and speedrun it. Okay. Wow. To be honest with you, I was not expecting it to just automatically go the whole way. But there you go. Open with A. And we got a map. I was right. Shows you have been playing too many Zelda games, huh? That is exactly what this location was meant to do. Give us either a map or a compass. Another one of those. Oh, how good is that? But it's not... We shouldn't treat it as just a location to get a map. It was much more than that. We got the Strandtiller. Or Strandchiller? Strandchiller, yeah. That actually makes me question the old pronunciation. I guess it was Skullchiller? Like, as in tarantula, right? Because if I think back to... Okay, so here's the reality. So, sometimes when you're playing games, you go based on your own pronunciations, and then the first time that you watch someone play a game who's actually pronouncing things, that will become your pronunciation for quite some time, until you actually either correct it or question it. And I remember, yeah, the first time I saw Ocarina of Time played on camera was Dark-Minded Sith back in 2008. And he would say Skulltula. That was his pronunciation. Get a gold Skulltula. And so, yeah. Tulla rather than Chula. Because I would say tarantula, right? But Skullchilla, like the T-U-L-A, is definitely taken from tarantula. So you wouldn't really change the pronunciation of T-U-L-A if that's where it's coming from. So Skullchilla, Strandchilla, etc. Like that's the pronunciation that you want to use. I understand that this may not sound very incredible to you guys, but I just had an epiphany that was, you know, what, 18 years in the making? It's quite extraordinary, but anyway. There you have it. I guess 16 years. Drop these boxes, that should do us. Oh, however, let me destroy that. Maybe we can drop a trampoline and that will give us the distance that we need. Not there. And not there. Sometimes positioning can be... That did not work. Let's try that again. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. Drop that there. I keep overshooting the jump. It's entirely my fault. I'm not going to blame the game for it. There you go. Now, I'm sure there are a few ways that you can get over that. Like, for example, the beds. The beds would work just fine. But I'm not using those right now. I don't know why. Maybe I should use the beds more often. Don't forget about the beds. The beds are also amazing, I guess. I should watch the old Dark-Minded Sith Let's Play again. It's been so long. He got hacked back in, I think, was it 2010, 2011? He got hacked. I think it was 2010. He got hacked and then he lost the whole thing. But someone had saved his Let's Play, and then he was able to re-upload it. Very lucky. Basically, whoever hacked him deleted everything. They deleted all the stuff on his channel. What an asshole, right? And, yeah, but someone had actually saved his Ocarina of Time Let's Play and was able to send it to him. Oh. See how... Yeah. How good is that? I reckon he's going to burn to death very soon. I do seem to recall fighting you as Link, now that I think about it. Seemed very resistant to fire there, but not resistant enough to do much about me. He is indeed a Dark Nut, that is what I was assuming. If there's one thing that I can say, I'm glad that Nintendo are not so revisionist that they're changing the names of enemies. So, like, you could argue that the Strantula or Strantula are different to the Skulltulas, but... or rather that they're the same, but I would say that they're not. I'd say they are different. This one is performing a very specific function. These are different spiders to the ones that we remember. So I'm fine with those receiving different names, but Dark Nut, that's keeping in line with how it's always been. Rope is keeping in line with how it's always been. I'm just pleased to see that they are not departing from the previous naming. So we have been here. We were here as Link, but now we have access to echoes that can actually get us past the things that we couldn't access before. Which, by the way, is brilliant game design. Really, really good game design. So we're coming back to somewhere that we've previously been, which therefore means that we're resolving whatever issue was happening here before. And also, we're experiencing how we have grown, or how we have changed. Now, admittedly, we were playing as Link before rather than Zelda, but we can still see areas of progress or progression that we couldn't go to before. So it's a good way of going through a game. It's a good way of progressing. Feels good. Yes, because she's a lady, Mad Duck Wizard. Instead of holding it above her head like Link does, she does a twirl because she's, you know, feminine. Yeah, I had a feeling that would happen. Alright, let me destroy this box. I don't think I require the box, so I'm going to destroy it without reservation. I'm going to try using X for a change, because I haven't really used X until now. How do I... Oh, it's release with ZR. Very good. Okay. Being a bit slow here. But yeah, I must remember that I do have Try's ability as well. And I think I could have gotten over that using my echoes, but it didn't end up being necessary. And it didn't feel like it would be necessary, so... There you go. I didn't do it. Aha! Got some floral nectar. I'm sure it will come in handy. Oh, I actually wanted to jump and then toss. So, we don't have a jumping option when we're holding something. We can only place or toss, because B would normally be our jumping button, but it becomes our placing button if I'm holding something, so good to know. We don't have that sort of ability. Aha. Got another one of these. Another waypoint. I can indeed warp here by using the map. What's over here? Where's my shovel? I need a shovel. I don't really need a shovel, but I'm a little distracted by this floating shard of what I presume to be rift. But I'll ignore it for now. Or maybe I shouldn't ignore it. I had a feeling that's what I had to do, I don't know why. So I saw that rift thing. So let me just take you through my thought process for reaching this conclusion. I saw this rift thing, this little rift shard, and thought, well, none of my echoes can interact with that. I knew that for certain. So I thought, well, I've got a new ability now. Let's give Try's ability a try. And so I tried to cast it in that direction. It didn't really work. And then I thought, well, if I'm using Try's ability, let's see if it can interact with anything in this space. And I saw that there was this golden shield. You know, it catches your eye, catches your attention. So I gave it a try. This is getting really annoying, using the word try as in attempt, whilst also having a character named Try by your side. Slightly annoying. But yeah, I attempted to pull that, and I persisted, and it worked. I really wouldn't have guessed that pulling the shield off that statue's fist was going to open the door, but I don't know, I was guided by instinct, and it worked. I'm kind of surprised that it worked. I'm sure that would be a bit of a wall to maybe kids playing the game for the first time, maybe even adults playing the game for the first time, but I just kind of felt my way through it and somehow managed to reach the conclusion that allowed me to continue. I could have been stuck there for a minute or two, but kind of fluked it. Oh. Yeah, I'm not great with my positioning, am I? Must work harder. Yeah, goodbye. Take that. It's a dark nut. How many pots can you take? Oh, you are resistant to pots. Okay. I'll summon my own dark nut. Yeah. He gets summoned in the attacking position. Did you see that? Alright. So when you summon a dark nut, yeah. When you summon a dark nut, you are at the advantage. Because, like, for example, if I talk about the Zol, when I summon a Zol, or even a Keese, they're not immediately in an attacking stance. But the dark nut is, which means that he will automatically have the advantage. Timing is not as important with him. And I'm okay with that. I'm a-okay with that. Are we approaching the end of this dungeon? Is this the boss up ahead? Yes. I had a feeling. Big long staircase. Huh? Is that the person who fought the blue monster? That is a person with whom we are very familiar. I guess this is Darklink. Although he's not dressed in dark clothing. But he is possessed. Oh, very good. Ah, true. We can't, this is very true. If we make use of the Dark Nut, we can, oh, okay, I'm not going to go and get the rupee. If we make use of the Dark Nut, we can't use anything else, which is fine. How do Moblins fare? How does a Moblin fight Link? He's very, very good with his shield, isn't he? Okay, so a Moblin's not doing very well. A Dark Nut was not very successful in hitting Link. So really what I'm doing here is seeing how the different mobs deal with him. I'm not in a good position right now. In case you hadn't noticed. I'll just figure out how to find him. There will be a solution. Let me look at my environment. What's around? What can I make use of? Can he definitely not be affected by that? He's very strong, isn't he? Eat the meat. Okay, Link is not distracted by meat. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Alright, if I throw a rock at him, what happens? Stop that. He just blocks it. Okay. So he's shielding a lot of things. Of the echoes that I possess, what would be useful against Link? I really am not sure. He's extremely strong. Am I meant to die here? Maybe not. What does Zelda have that would be uniquely useful against Link? Stop pursuing me, man. I've got a fairy, but... Jesus. Just the way he holds his shield against you like that. Or up towards you like that. Alright, let me look at my echoes and see what will work. Well, let me think. In previous games, what is Link weak to? Nothing in particular that I can think of. I would have thought fire would be useful against him. But weirdly, even when he goes close to an Ignazol, he's not really affected by the flame. He just stands back with his shield raised and then just destroys it. He is not affected in any way by a rock. He just shields it. Okay. God. It's a little tricky. Again, I should be looking at my environment to see if there's anything I can take advantage of in this environment to fight him. Ah, okay. So what I did just see there was that he lost sight of us. Oh, alright, well... I wasn't expecting you to be able to jump that high. Apparently you can jump really high as well. So if we... See how he loses sight of us? If we can sneak around him and attack him from behind, that is the only opening that I'm seeing right now. I can't see any other way to hit him. We have to try and get behind him. There you go. So if we get behind him, that's what we do. We take advantage of his limited abilities of perception. Oh, there you go. Yeah, take that, arsehole. Whew, just barely got out of the way of that. Again, Ignazol is my absolute strategy. Alright, that was very effective. Ooh. So that was my mistake. I was attacking Link head on, but actually he can just lose sight of you like this. Oh, go on. Get him! Now, sadly, and I didn't really have any evidence of this before saying so, but this is not going to rescue Link because we do have to continue through the whole game as Zelda, so this is not going to be enough, clearly. That was intense. He looked like the guy who helped you before, but this one wanted to hurt you. Yeah, he was weird, like the imposters back at the castle. You killed Link, thus ending classic Zelda games forever, yes. He looks like he left something behind. Are we able to use a sword now? Because I would be happy with that. It's the weapon the swordsman in green tunic had. The name Link is engraved in it, or upon it, in it, on it, whatever. Yeah, that sword has a special kind of power. And presumably we can cut through it with that. Raise sword with up. That's what I've just done. You're kidding me. Zelda can take on his appearance at will. Okay. I was not expecting that. You look strong, like that guy who wears green. This is unbelievable. Raise your sword with up to enter sword fighter form. Once transformed, you can attack with Y. This has actually surpassed my expectations in every way. I was not expecting that at all. Wow. While transformed, defend with your shield by pressing and holding ZL. You can also jump higher than usual in this form, as we've seen with that boss. Finally, hold down Y to charge your sword, then release it for a spin attack. My god. I can play as Link, but it's done as a sort of, you know, assuming the form of Link through his sword. I mean, that's unbelievable. What if a boomerang? It looks like the boomerang to me. You got some energy. Where was this? I didn't see any energy anywhere, but fine. Okay, we can play as Link, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to say that despite this being a not just a Zelda game, but a Zelda game, we can play as Link. I can't quite believe this. So, okay, so, yeah. While in sword fighter form, and I did see level 1, I did see the level 1 part of the gauge, but I had actually not paid attention to the fact that the gauge was depleting over time. While in sword fighter form, the energy gauge in the upper left corner of the screen will decrease. You'll automatically exit sword fighter form after the energy gauge is depleted. You can also exit this form by pressing up. You can refill your energy gauge by gathering that shit, whatever that is. I thought we were just randomly being given Link's boomerang, like a spirit form of Link's boomerang. No, that was not what was happening. So yeah. Who knows? I'm not sure what the energy is, but I guess that fighter form is not something that we can just use whenever we want, which I think is acceptable. I'm fine with that. Let's release that with ZR, jump on the rock, and make our way straight through. Oh, let's go and get that chest. We had best get that chest. Although, what I'll do is I'll end the recording here, not the live stream, but indeed the VOD. I need to figure out a better way to communicate that. I'll say something like, those of you watching live, stay right where you are, and I'll be back in the VOD in the next video or something like that. You know, something along those lines. But, yeah, I do need to visit the bathroom, and I will do so, but after I have finished the VOD. It's definitely been long enough at this point. The next recording will, or at least the next upload on YouTube, will cover exiting the dungeon and going as far forward as we can within that time frame. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.